Robert, as you look back at 2025 here at the end of the year, what's the biggest lesson you learned this year?
Well, I think the lesson we're all trying to get our heads around still is how private equity is going to impact the future. So I think we saw in 24 that there was something coming, and in 25 it absolutely took off. And how far does that rocket go? And what's the impact? I mean, we were talking about it yesterday with some people. The impact is rippling across everyone. Even if you don't take on private equity, you're seeing impacts, whether it be because staff don't want to do that and they're coming back to independent firms, or partners have to get on the same page as it relates to if they want to be independent or not. So there's a lot of decisions to be made there. The different strategies that are being deployed by different firms are either attractive or unattractive to various groups. And understanding where each firm fits into the mix, I think, is a real big question mark that we have going into 26. And that's kind of been the summary impact from 25.
What is a significant win or achievement in 2025 that you are proud of?
Well, for my team, we have done more with less. So one of our biggest initiatives is trying to expand the reach that we have with our firm. So my team oversees client success for Rightworks, and we're trying to do more of that across our client base. Going into 25, we had 70,000 plus customers, and only we're managing from a success perspective about 1,000 of those. So a very small percentage on the overall. As we come out of 26, the hope would be to have a motion in place for all of those groups, all of those customers. It'll vary based on segmentation and just what the needs look like, but that's our goal going forward.
What is something that caught you off guard in 25, whether it's positive or negative, it just surprised you this year?
Going back to private equity, I think the surprise has been the different strategies that different companies have taken on. I mean, the roll-up strategy is pretty basic, right? You roll up a lot of revenue and then try to sell that off. But we're seeing a lot of very different strategies that firms are taking, and it does vary by segment. I think another surprise was how late some of the layoffs occurred. So, the big four have shed some staff. And I think a lot of that came when they were staffing up, in 2020 area. And now it's been 5 years. I think a lot of those layoffs occurred in tech industry a year or two ago, and now they're hitting the CPA industry a little bit more. I'm not sure what the delay was, but people gobbled up more than they could handle, I think, and now that's shifting.
Crystal ball, give me one prediction for 2026.
The biggest question mark that I have for the future is around how AI impacts tax coding, if you will. Can someone create a software that leverages appropriately AI to do the very difficult work of releasing tax code to CPAs? Both legal, but also actual code that these applications need to prepare returns for folks. We've seen at the very low end 1040s being prepared by AI. But as we've heard in the past, you give 10 preparers the same tax return, you get 7 different answers. So we know what AI can do and the power that it has. We also know that it has issues. And so how can we leverage that to prepare a return and get that busy work out of the lives of our accountants and allow them to do more and more of that advisory side of the coin?
Flip side on that, give me one thing you hope doesn't happen in 26.
I think that, I hope that there's not a bubble that pops, right? So that's the thing I think that people are afraid of. I would liken it to the early 2000s when we saw the .com. There were a lot of really good future technologies built, right? So you have a great website, Amazon.com, that no one cared about at that time, and it wasn't worth anything. But now it is. So I think right now we have those worthless things in the AI space that haven't been able to get to their value yet. When they are, that's going to be great, I think, for a lot of people, and the power and the benefit that it can bring to people. But we're just not there yet. But we're kind of spending like we're there, and that's the part that worries me. And so hopefully, my hope would be that the spending and the value can go a little bit more alongside of each other, as opposed to outpacing.